Hey, welcome back everybody. So what I got here today, I ordered a couple of these intervalmeters, or however you pronounce it. They're timers for your cameras, and like my camera in particular, the Canon T6i, it doesn't have the capability to do time lapse. And so I'm trying to finish up a review on the Anycubic i3 Mega 3D printer, and I was trying to figure out how to do time lapse video, and then I figured out I needed to get one of these. So I went to Amazon. The first one I purchased was this one. I had read some reviews on it. It said it was a pretty good timer for your camera. I ordered it for the Canon, so it has the correct plug on it. There's several of these that you can get for different Canons, whether you have a Nikon, Canon, Sony. I think they're all different. So both of these were about 20 bucks. I ordered this one first because it's the first one that came up and it was the most popular. I found this one a couple weeks later. This one here is everything it comes with. It does not come with batteries. It just comes with the instruction manual, which is half-ass written. The instructions are not very clear, so you generally have to resort to YouTube for an informational video to find out, how to use these things in depth. The little instruction manual will kind of get you started, but your better bet's to watch one of the other how-tos on YouTube on how to use this thing. So this one I've used for about 6 or 7 shoots. I've used it for remote shooting and time-lapse video, and it's done pretty good. The only complaint that I have about this is that it has no on-off switch, which I know quite a the other reviews on Amazon, that's what they complained about, is you basically either have to leave this thing on or take the batteries out when you're done, which is pretty inconvenient. So then I stumbled on this one, which is a little more compact, all the exact same features, except this one here has an on-off switch. So we'll look at this one first. Let me get you zoomed in here. So you scroll through the menus. If you're doing time-lapse, pretty much the only thing that you have to adjust for is the interval, which is selected by these this little arrow marker at the top, and it's labeled on what they go to. So you'd select interval. I use about 25 to 35 second interval, so it takes a picture every 25 to 35 seconds. And then you use a free time-lapse software to compile all those images into a video. So you'd set your interval at whatever interval you want, and then you set under N, which is the next one over to the right, you set that for the number of photos. So on this one you can hit select and then adjust it to where it has the 2 dashes, and that means infinite. So it'll continually run until you are basically done, until you have to come over and manually hit stop on it. So that's this one. Pretty straightforward, not a whole lot to it. We'll get that one out of the way and I'll unbox this one. So I have used this one, so I know the performance on this one, and it works just as well as this one does. The added addition, or the addition to this one, is that it has an on-off switch on the side. So you can turn it off when it's not in use, put it in your camera case, put it away. So you can see the size difference. This one is notably smaller. The interface is identical to this one in that you can adjust your interval, number of photos, your sound if you want it to beep every time it takes a picture, and then your delay and how long between each for exposure time. So I will say on this one, this little hold button it gets stuck. It's not very good. The picture button that you can push, this one here, to take a photo remotely if your camera's on a tripod and you're trying to do like portraits, it does work pretty well. But this hold button, it doesn't work very well at all. A lot of times it gets stuck and you have to kind of hit it to knock it loose. This one here is much better. It simply slides up like that, and you push it down when you're done. So you go through here, like if I was going to set this, I'd set it for, say, 15 seconds, and then come over here to my number of photos, select infinite. Let me take this screen protector off, maybe it'll show up a little better on camera. Set it to infinite, plug it into my camera, and then hit start. And then as you see, it'll start counting down. It'll tell you how long until your next picture. So I don't want to run this without it being plugged into the camera. But that's about it for these. No complaints or issues with either of them, apart from this one doesn't have an on-off switch. This one here is made by JJC Enterprises. I have a couple of their other camera accessories, including the double battery base for my T6i. So it holds 2 batteries, and it's the grip and everything is one of the best ones for the aftermarket ones without paying $150 for the official pack from Canon. I also have batteries and a spare charger from JJC, which work very well, in addition to a hand strap and a neck strap. So a lot of the JJC products in general, I found to be fairly good, high quality for the price, especially when you consider what they charge for an accessory versus what like an officially branded Canon accessory would cost. And I know some people, they'll say, go OEM, go Canon, it prevents damage to your camera. But even these little intervalmeters or the double battery packs, which I use all the time, or even the lens filters, I've had no damage, no issues. It works with my camera just like I would expect it to, and I haven't had any issues with it. So I will put a link to both of these on Amazon in case you're interested in purchasing either of them. Out of the two, I would recommend this guy. I think I paid $19 or $20 for it, which is the exact price I paid for this one, except this one doesn't have the on-off switch. So I'll put the links down below. If you have any questions, please post them below and I'll get them answered. If you want to see any other videos, make a comment of that down below too, and I'll see what I can get done about that. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and rate this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And until next time, we'll see you then.